Which of these two characters do you find more appealing? What, me? I'm flattered, but I'm not an option. I'm not a video game character. But considering that according to my YouTube statistics, there's a 100% chance of you being a guy, you most likely chose this. And it seems like the video game industry would agree with you. If you couldn't already tell from the strawberry shade of my beard, I'm a ginger. Yeah, I know I'm bald, but I assure you, my suggy-wuggy, bad, horrendous genetics didn't just stop at making me bald. It also inflicted me with gingerism. Being short, fat, stupid, and ugly. Despite the lack of hair, I do consider myself quite the veteran ginger. I'm level 26, I have about 17 souls gathered, so I'd say I'm getting quite powerful. On the official Soul Society leaderboards, I'm currently ranked 3rd, right above Elmo from Sesame Street and right below the Guitar Man guy in a Lego house. And at the top, reigning supreme, keeping the throne warm for me, we have our Lord and Savior, Copper Cap. Gingers do have souls. I'm telling you, Mom, we do have souls. But you didn't come here for some lore dump on real people with real red hair that's cringe, quite frankly yucky, borderline disgusting. You came here for the video game people. The people who really matters. The whole premise for this video spawned from me playing through Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time, and it kind of got me thinking a little. Red-haired protag? You don't quite see that too often. In a time where diversity is such a hot topic and being milked more than about as much as Mr. Beast's drama videos. Like, why am I making videos on gingers and jumping? I need to get in on this. Now, announcing my new drama channel where I talk about why little green men should stay out of Japanese forests. In a time where diversity is such a hot topic, you'd think some higher up executive somewhere would be slamming his desk harder than your average Counter-Strike gamer. Going feral, foaming at the mouth over having some skinny leprechaun looking ass dweeb on the cover of their video games. Wait, how did you get these pictures? Get them down, take them down now! I've decided to break down our lovely carrot tops into 4 different sections, wherein some of them, one in particular, there might be some crossovers. Starting with the first one, the protags, aka me. There are some really cool red-haired protagonists, with one of the first ones I could find in my 200-hour caffeine-fueled research period being Ryo from the original Street Fighter in 1987. This dude is jacked as shit, looking like a red-haired Chris Bumstead beating up his rival Jay Cutler. Capcom, however, quite quickly figure out that jacked Septicide leprechauns only really exist in AI-generated nightmare fuel in the future. And the idea of having a red-haired fighter as the protagonist quite quickly got thrown in the bin, and Ryo got changed to the black-haired Giga Chad we know him as today. However, just a few years later, all the ginger gym rats, all 5 of us, pumped our fists in the air like we just don't care when a new red-haired protag moved in on the block. This time, someone we could really relate to. This guy doesn't speak, socially awkward smaxing to the highest degree, talking to women as if I'd rather throw myself off a building, talking to friends, maybe a smiling facial expression at most, beating a big boss battle, a pose I think looks cool but really just makes me look extra socially awkward at the club. Chrono from Chrono Trigger is a mute protagonist whose job is really just being the badass Goku looking dude with all the powers, beating up all the bad boys, monsters, and girls. Equality. Also, the Dragon Ball looking aesthetics does make sense when you consider that the character is designed by the creator of Dragon Ball himself, Akira Toriyama. On the more modern sphere of gaming, we have other notable characters like Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, who's an outcast. Wait a minute, is she an outcast because she's ginger? That's kind of fucked up. She does, however, have a really cool design, and she's just a badass protagonist. And she's also, she's kind of hot. Control is a game I never played, but the lead role is a red-haired woman who, besides being pretty hot, is, I assume, just in control of the situation throughout the entire game. No struggles, no being outcast because she's a ginger, just in control. Just flinging shit around in the same vein as Cal Kestis from Jedi: The Fallen Order. Doing presumably Jedi things, flinging shit around with his force powers. Yeah, no, I haven't played this game either, but I hear it's pretty good, and also the main character, he's pretty cool, so he's here. Now, I think that one of the more badass and cool looking red-haired protagonists, beside maybe Aloy from more modern times, is the cat from Stray. Okay, no, who I actually had in mind is female Commander Shepard from the Mass Effect games. And yeah, I know, technically you can customize the character, and I've, for obvious reasons, not included characters that you get to make yourself. But I think Shepard having the red hair in the official promotion art and it being the default option for her does allow her in here. I mean, it's so iconic, right? Also, the games are just so damn good and had such a big impact on my childhood that I want to bring it up and talk about it. And Jennifer Hale knocks it out of the Citadel with the voice acting. I know everyone plays the games differently, but I've always played the games through as FemShep. I just think she's badass as and she's also really hot. However, the male variant of Shepard does not sport the red hair, cause red hair on guys is cringe and yucky and disgusting. Or at least I have this sneaking suspicion that they don't quite sell as well as like smoking hot babes with red hair. I also just quickly want to add that this thing about like having a red-haired protag female and then the male variant not being a red-haired dude is not a one-time thing. It happens in Cyberpunk 2 and even in Minecraft it happens. Like, she's a ginger, like, what's going on here? Video game industry? Gamers? I'm calling you out. Next up on our little quest to find all the ginger balls of Ginger Ball C, we have the villains. For some reason, there's quite a lot of villains with red hair, and I don't know if this is some sort of smearing campaign or if you guys just design red-haired villains in order to like punch gingers in the face, but something's afoot here and I'm on to you. In Crash Bandicoot, we got 2 villains with red hair. Also, now that I think about it, Crash is kind of a red-haired or red-pelted protagonist, but we've moved on from that now, so he doesn't matter anymore. So Dr. Engine and Dr. Embryo, which I know one of them is bald, but his goddamn eyebrows give him away. Also, you'd think they're brothers with names like these, but no, they're just classmates from the Academy of Evil. I know this because I watched a 25-minute long video on the lore of Crash Bandicoot last night while eating, even though I've only ever played one of the games. Don't judge me, you're here watching me yap about gingers in video games. You know better than me. I know my audience. Axel from Kingdom Hearts. Well, I've never actually played the beloved Mickey Mouse game, so I don't fully know if he's a villain. Wait, what's that? One second. Yeah, no, he's a villain, at least in the beginning, but that's good enough for me. Dr. Eggman from the Sonic games is a classic red-haired villain flying around his chrome dome with his chrome dome, terrorizing Sonic with his twirly mustache and his robotic army. Ganondorf from the Zelda games is another great example. His human form is quite terrifying and also quite ginger. He's sort of the big bad of Zelda games, and even though I haven't played as many Zelda games as I should, I've played one Zelda game, even I know that Ganondorf is the big bad evil. Elden Ring have at least 3 red-haired villains, or at least I think. Radahn, does his helmet count? Is it hair or is it a helmet? I don't know. But if he willingly chose to don red hair, he's good enough to me, and he is a certified ginger in my video game cover. The other 2 are, of course, Melania, the bladed bitch of breaking my controller, and Radagon, the forever disappointing boss fight. This dude's most dangerous attack is flashbanging you as you enter his arena. Also, as long as Melania keeps her helmet on, she's kinda, you know, she's kinda hot. Actually, maybe that white mask dude in the beginning was right all along. I really am just fucking maidenless. Holy shit. Now, I've decided to save the best for last, or at least in my opinion, this is the magnum opus of not only villains, but maybe red-haired characters as a whole. I'm of course talking about the cat from Stray. No, I'm talking about Olgierd von Everec from The Witcher 3 DLC Heart of Stone. He's a villain, he's a boss fight, possibly the hardest in the entire game. He's a deep, flawed, intricate character, and depending on the ending you get, quite possibly a friend. In case you somehow haven't played Witcher 3 and its DLC yet, I won't spoil the game, but play it. It is so damn good. Next up on my list, we got random side characters. These are characters that aren't necessarily integral to the story as a whole, but more so characters that somehow managed to stand out to me while playing through different games. One of these dudes to me is the guy from the Monster Hunter World opening cinematic. I don't know if there's any story to this dude. I've only ever played Monster Hunter World, but whenever I do think back on the game, this random ass red-haired dude somehow stands out to me. Oh, and he shows up in the DLC cutscene too, the one for Iceborne, where he's all decked out in armor and gear, so he knows how to grind. He's a gamer. There's also that red-headed teacher in Hogwarts Legacy who's just kind of hot for like no reason at all. Her name is like Garlic or something, which is kind of fitting because she is the head of like garlic and vegetables and fruits classes in that game. Also, she might not be as hot as I remember, but she's like the first non-child, non-decrepit, old-ass woman you meet in the game, so it's like, oh shit. Hey girl, what's up? Then for some reason we also have all these red hair characters that aren't actually people. Like Tails and Knuckles and Bowser Jr. Also, who's Bowser's ex-wife? Like, he's trying to throw it down with Peach all the time, but this dude already has a kid? What's going on here? Then we got Crash, who we mentioned earlier, and we also got this tiger dude from Final Fantasy. We also got that beastie dude in Street Fighter and the gingerbread man in Fortnite, and probably the most red-headed character of all damn time, the Red Pikmin. Oh, and also we got the cat from Stray. Now, I'm not making any conclusions yet, but it's all coming together. It's starting to make sense, Wilson. Now, to the final point on my list here. Every ginger is just a hot woman. Listen, I know it. You know it. We all know it. We got Triss. We got Aloy. We got the Firekeeper from Dark Souls 2, who, when she utters those goddamn words in that goddamn accent.
Bearer of the curse, I will always be at your side until hope has fully withered.
Yeah, no, I am painstakingly maidenless. We got Liliana, we got the other two red-haired girls from The Witcher. I swear to the goddamn sun, who's also technically just a really hot ginger, that the vast majority of red-haired characters are just really hot women. I know that games and media as a whole tend to make, especially women characters, just really absurdly attractive for no reason. But on the guy side of the perspective, we're stuck with Bowser and Eggman and the red goddamn Pikmin, and also the cat from Stray, and admittedly he is the cutest one out of all the characters, but it's different. I do give big props to my two homeboys, Allgeared von Everett and Cal Kestis from the Star Wars games, who are just two really good looking ginger dudes. The Eastern market is generally really good as well at like making cool looking red hair characters like Chrono, Axel, and Rio before they discover red is cringe. But it's also just the Wild West over there, where anime is just a random wheel picker of hair colors for any character. However, here in the West it seems like we're stuck with all these furry animal characters or bald men, which in my case is quite accurate. But alas, for every Allgeared von Everett, it does seem like we have at least 10 Ayla the Huntresses. But when we take a step back and really take a look at the whole picture and put the puzzle pieces together, does it really surprise anyone? So is this some sort of grand conspiracy to tear down the leprechaun hierarchy and oppress our voices? Yes. Absolutely, and we're coming for
all of your souls.
No, I just imagine that hot gamer girls sell a lot better than dweeby ginger boys, and honestly, I can't blame anyone. It's by no means a surprise that sex sells, and I mean, red-haired women are fucking hot, dude. Like, what can you say? I just had the idea of making a silly video about red-haired characters in video games, and as I was researching and writing the script, it dawned on me just how many attractive ginger women there are in video games compared to attractive ginger men. Also, I know that I've missed a ton of characters. This wasn't some definitive list or anything. It was just the characters that I remembered and the characters that stood out specifically to me. This is my second attempt at a YouTube video, so let me know what you liked or disliked about this one, what I can do better, improve on, etc, etc. Like, subscribe, all that YouTuber nonsense, I very much appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, all that fun stuff, and yeah, I will see you on the next one. Boop! Wait, so it was all hot women all along? Always have been. There's also that redheaded teacher from the character is just spun on a random. Yup.